Good morning, everyone. It is day 2, and it poured last night. Oh man, we were not expecting that. Uh, Before we left for the trip, originally they were saying Sunday was supposed to be the day where we'd run into chances of rain, and it rained all night. I think it started somewhere around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Just like little drops here and there. But by midnight it was pouring, thunder, lightning, the whole the whole 9 yards. Uh, Pretty wicked. But I just used the Mama Jamba without the doors. Stayed dry. Kurt's little diamond tarp kept him perfectly dry. No issues. Alright, so camp's all packed up, about to hit the trail. One of the things for this weekend is doing a little bit of gear testing. I have the Ursack with me, so this is its first trip. So far, I do like it. It's not bad at all. The knots to tie it are nice. They're easy to untie. So yeah, overall not a bad experience with that. The other thing is, I've been looking for other ways to carry gear in a more convenient manner. And I have like this Osprey sling bag that is also like a fanny pack if you want to carry it by itself. And it's nice, but you know, it's just not quite what I was looking for. So I have this guy. This is the the 3F company. They're a Chinese knockoff company. But not a bad pouch so far. I thought I'd be sort of annoyed by it hanging off my chest like this and, you know, flopping around. But with a few items in there, it doesn't really flop around much. And all I really have in there is I have snacks. I have the map for the area that we're in. Extra batteries for my GoPro. I'm not sure what else is in there. But some of the other stuff that is in there is another thing that this is my first time using, and that's these insect repellent wipes. Not bad. They're not like an offensive smell, and anyone else I know that's used them says that they work, you know, decent. You know, your standard bug protection. And I think that's it. I think everything else is stuff that has been out with me. Okay, so we are about, I don't know, like a 5-minute hike from where we camped by the Buck Run, and we got onto this old service road. Now this is part of this northern loop that we did last year when we kind of used the northern loop and a bunch of the side trails to make our own loop. So the one thing we do know is, sort of like yesterday, we are going to start our day off with a decent climb. Once we get to the end of this, we're going to climb up to our left. And I just remember that being a really steep descent. So, get a little bit of a butt kicker first thing in the morning, which is fine. Kind of like getting those out of the way nice and early, get the blood flowing. Just came up the first steep climb, right over that way. I didn't take a picture, but I think Kurt videoed or pictured me climbing it. So, you know, go check out his stuff if you want to see what that climb looked like. The good thing is, it wasn't very long of a climb, and I don't know about you, but I didn't think it was that bad.
That wasn't that bad.
I mean, it's definitely steep and things are wet from all the rain last night and there's leaves on the ground, but it wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad. Now, granted, our perspective is a little skewed.
We hike the Catskills a lot.
Yeah, we hiked up in the Catskills a lot, and it's like that. But just take if it's wet, just take your time. Watch where you're putting your feet. A lot of roots and rocks you can use as little steps.
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't bad. Before we started the climb, I made a comment about thinking there was steps on that hill, but that's probably why I thought that, because of the roots and everything, it just sort of formed natural steps. But that's it. We're pretty much back at the top again, and that should be the last of our aggressive climbs until we cross the stream and hit the south side. All right, so we came down off the main trail there. This vista thankfully has no rattlesnakes that we can see, which is awesome, because this is the vista last year that was all fogged in, which was really cool for the effect. But it's nice that this year we get to see it in a different way. And it's a very clear morning. It's beautiful out today. Getting down to the run here, that marks most of our descent being finished. We'll cross over the water, climb up on the bank a little bit, and then we'll descend the rest of the way down to the river on the eastern side of it. Yeah, we were trucking along this nice, easy path down to the water, and Kurt almost stepped on him.
Sorry, buddy.
Just a little one too. It's only like what, like maybe a foot and a half long.
Yeah.
So we're doing a pretty steep descent down. Yeah, being tall and lanky is definitely beneficial. How you doing?
Good. This looks like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's fun.
We've made it down to the river crossing, and that steep descent, I took a bit of a spill. So definitely have to be cautious on that. I slipped, caught a rock, got a pretty good gash out of it. The good thing about that is I was a little bit better prepared. After Kurt fell last year while we were doing the AT, the one section, after that I started carrying bigger bandages in my first aid kit. And I'm glad I did, because it came in handy in this one. So yeah, so now we are just going to cross over this. The shoes are off, socks are off, and we're just gonna go and get this done. We're done with our lunch break. We are gonna start the rest of our walk in. One nice thing about this trail system, lots of nice campsites. We have passed many, many good ones along the way. So, even with all the people we've seen out on the trail, plenty of options. If you can't hear, we have a little bit of weather coming in. Nothing crazy. Even though we got the rain we did last night, today they originally did call for some showers. Nothing too crazy, but we'll see what happens. So this might show up a little foggy, but we ran into just a little bit of weather. So we left our lunch spot. which I think I already mentioned that we were seeing some weather. But man, it opened up. There's some thunder and lightning again. We decided to forego the rain gear because it's hot out today, and even with that downpour, I stayed really warm. I probably would have broke it out if I got cold, but there's an ant on me. But wasn't really a concern. It's lighting up again. We did see the sun peek through a little bit, so it's a little bit of that thunder. But yeah, good day of hiking. Probably the second worst rain that I've hiked in. But it didn't go for too terribly long, which wasn't bad. So being on the south side of the loop, this is what the trail currently looks like. Probably wouldn't be as swampy if it wasn't for all that rain, but even still, easily managed. Yeah, it's beautiful. So we are continuing on, and so is the rain. It's funny, the people that don't do this on a regular basis, you might think that this is miserable, but I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying it. Now, if I was cold, then I'd be miserable. We just did a little bit of climbing. I don't know if you can see this, but the trail goes right on top of this little like rock shelf, rock outcrop. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's nice as there's not much to see out that direction except for forest. So it's kind of cool that the trail itself is providing some neat visuals. And that's all it's doing right now. We're just winding right along this shelf, this ridge. This section's not too bad, just with all the rain, it makes the trail want to slip out from underneath you where it gets real thin and on a sharp angle. But I do have to say, this has been a pretty interesting, pretty fun day too. Coming up to the first vista on the south side of the loop. Rain let up just a little bit. I was telling Kurt the last time we were here, we saw Vista socked in, so I think this is kind of meant to happen when we come here. Yep, hiking in the rain. Okay, we are doing our last climb for the day. When we finish this day, we will only have roughly 6 miles left to complete tomorrow. So that'll be pretty nice. And this stuff right here, this is called stinging nettle. And as the name implies, it's not pleasant to touch. You kind of get a slight burning sensation from it. Like slight burning, stinging, like however you want to label it. But I've had it get me through pants, and it's not very pleasant. And the effect of it kind of lasts for a little while. So we have made it to the Sprout Vista point. It is a little bit of a side trail off of the old loggers path. It's also one of the shelter sites. And they do have pretty nice shelters here. There's a very good chance that this is where we will call home for the night. Take a walk out here. And scope out the vista. Oh yeah, that's where you want to be. How you guys doing?
Hey, how about that non-YouTube famous?
Okay, everybody. It's the end of day 2. There's some more rain out there. Today was definitely a rain day. Ever since the river crossing, a lot of rain. But not bad, like manageable. And once you get so wet, it doesn't even matter anymore. You just kind of go with it. Got up to the Sprout shelter on the South Loop. Got here early. Got good spots for the hammocks, and was able to eat our dinner and kind of get everything squared away. And then it started raining again. And then we huddled out in the shelter with all the other hikers that are in the area with us. Just hung out and had some good conversation. And did that till it died down enough. And then everyone made a break for their respective shelters. And that's pretty much it for the night. It's 9 o'clock. It's definitely bedtime. And that should be it. So unless there's it should be an uneventful evening, but catch you guys tomorrow.